Hi, welcome to Phase 2 of the Pitbull Bible Online APPT Database Tutorial Series. This second phase is after you've registered and after you've subscribed and paid for your service. You're going to want to activate your account and start getting into your profile and understanding some of your options. Okay, now the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your profile to identify yourself and get all of your settings to your liking, and there's a lot of customization that comes here in this forum. Okay, when you modify your profile, you're going to see up here a notification. I recommend that you go here first because this is an email from me to you, and it's important information. What it is a hierarchy of all the video tutorials that have to do with how this database runs. This is a complex database, okay? It's got a lot of stuff in it, and I would save this and go through it because when you really understand all that this site can do, you won't want to go anywhere else. But I'm not going to get into that right now because this is one of the tutorials. I'm going to go back to the profile, okay? And you've got your email and password set up. You can put your home page here, screen name, all of these means of communication. Write your biography about who you are, what you're about in dogs. Location if you want, leave it blank if you want, etc. That's basic. Now you're going to want to upload a profile picture. Uploading a profile picture, it enhances your presence. So you can either link to a profile picture or I just browse the computer. Here I've got a set of pictures I'm going to use for this tutorial. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Okay. So there's a difference between your avatar and your profile picture. Your profile picture, okay, can be 250 pixels wide by 250 pixels tall. It doesn't have to be an exact square, but 250 pixels is the widest point it can be. That's for your profile picture. Next, this will be displayed in your blogs and the articles you write, because you do have the ability to write articles and you do have the ability to write blogs, and we're going to get back to that in a minute. The next thing you want to do is do your avatar. Again, this is another picture, and you say, why don't you use the same picture? The profile picture is larger, see, 250 by 233. The avatar is a little bit smaller, which has to be 150 is the largest point it can be. So you're going to want to upload your avatar, and this gives you some presence here. When you post it, it shows up in various search engines and everything. It's just cooler to do, and I'd appreciate it if you would. So now you're set up with your profile picture and your avatar. Here you can add a signature. Now, this is some pretty complicated formatting tools, and if you get to know them all, you can upload videos, pictures, email, links, a whole host of smiley faces, as you can see, and there's a ton of cool things that you can add to your signature. Center it, justify it, you can add bullets. This is a badass system here, and I hope you make full use of it because you'll really enjoy your experience. So you can add your signature, your website, or whatever you want to do. Also, for some of you dogmen who like privacy, your contact info, you can register it to only your friends, only your contacts, registered members, or everyone. Okay, so if you only want to keep a tight circle, then you just do that here, your friends or your contacts. And you can, same with your albums and everything else. So if you want a sense of community, but you want to be careful who you're dealing with, set all of these to only friends and contacts, and that's no problem at all. Now, there's a whole bunch of different categories to look at. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I am going to go to general settings because this is the most important. But I encourage you to go through all of those and set yourself up before you do anything else to be rocking and ready to roll. Okay, so here we go. You can be invisible to other members or not. This is a V card, is basically information. You can upload all your information if you want. You can determine who you receive emails from. Administrators, me, other members, or not. This is personal email, not your message system, your personal email. Okay. You can make it so that every time somebody posts a thread, you're emailed instantly, daily, or weekly. Or not to subscribe at all to any threads. I don't want to know when every single person makes a post, so I just don't subscribe. I'll show you later where you can subscribe to individual threads too if one of them happens to be of interest to you. Like for instance sales, or for instance if you have an emergency situation and you really need to get a feedback, boom, you can get feedback in your cell phone or whatever else. It's a very cool system. You turn on your PM messaging, but you can turn it off if you don't want to receive private messages. Determine who you get them from, as well as visitors can go to your site and talk to you or not. Just take a look at all the stuff that it can do. You can set up how many, a lot of things you can set up here, where you're from, the time zone and everything. Now here's an important one for your consideration. This is the text box thread. This is where it is by default, and I recommend you leave it there. What this means is when you make posts or respond to blogs or everything, you get a full complement of tools that you're able to use, attachments and everything else. Okay? If you go back and you select Basic Editor, you don't get any of this. It's all gone. You just have a box and all you can do is type, and it's really limiting, so I recommend you not do that. The other thing is an enhanced interface, which is full WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG means what you see is what you get. That means when you post a link to a picture, the actual picture pops up and displays. It sounds kind of cool, but in a way it's a pain in the ass, if I could be blunt, because sometimes the formatting behind it confounds things. So I recommend leaving this just as it is with a standard editor plus extra formatting controls. The final thing is, if you don't like this dark display, just click here, default light style, save your changes, and when you come back, you're going to have a white situation here, which helps read words better sometimes. So the Pitbull Bible Online APBD database is going to be light colored. And so you can change that from any page, anytime on the lower left corner. Just go back to darkness if you like. I prefer it like that, and there you go. So now that we're back onto the home page, here's where understanding how this database works comes together. This database is controlled by these navigation menu tabs. Each of them takes you to a different section of the database: video tutorials, pedigrees, products, forums, drug index, all that stuff. Every time you click here, you get a whole new set of sub-navigation menu links that have to do with whatever tab that you've clicked on. What I'm going to do is go to forums for right now, because this has a whole different set which involves community. And this is one of the most important features that is very little used by most of the members, that I encourage you to use because it'll enhance your experience here. Go to community. You can set up groups like Bolio Dogs, Red Boy Dogs, whatever you're into. Set up your own groups, invite your own contacts, keep it private or keep it open, it's up to you. You can make friends and contacts here, but albums is a really, really cool feature that you should learn how to use. Now you'll notice I don't have an album yet. It's very easy to do. You create one. Since I'm Vice Grip Kennels, I'll make mine Vice Grip Kennels. Oops. Vice Kennels. How about Vice Grip Kennels? I don't even know my own name anymore. Description: the history of Vice Grip Kennels. Now I can determine if everybody can see this album, if only my contacts can see this problem, or if it only relates to my profile. I want to keep it public, so I'm going to save the changes. I've now made an album. Now it says this doesn't have any pictures. Very easy. I can edit the album and change what I've written here, or I can just upload pictures. What this does is it shows you the kinds of documents you can upload. You can upload them from a website by putting the URL. Bitmaps, this does Microsoft Word, GIF, JPEG, PDF documents, Adobe PDF, PNG, PSD, whole zip files even. There's a whole lot of stuff this thing can upload. It's just it's a badass system. So, but what I'll do is I will upload a letter from Mr. Holling. This is the outside envelope. I'll upload this first. Okay. It's here. I'm going to upload the letter that was in it, which is here, and one other letter that was these letters are from Mr. Hollingsworth to me back in 1992, I believe. One was a letter to myself, and one was a copy of a letter he sent to Fat Bill when they were feuding. Now that this is all I want to upload for now. Well, I'll upload one more thing, a picture of Missy. There's a picture of Missy I'll put in there, okay. Silverback's mama and Pancho's sister. Okay. So I've got that all up here now, and I can close this window. You'll notice that all these things are located here. I have to save the changes, otherwise I'll lose my material. It gives me an opportunity to describe them. This will be envelope for Mr. Hollingsworth. And I can put letter from Hollingsworth. Letter from Hollingsworth. I gotta have capitalization. Some of you guys like writing in that small caps. I can't stand it. It makes me sick. So I gotta capitalize. Okay, Missy. So now I save the changes, and I've got all these cool things to share with people. This is a letter Mr. Hollingsworth wrote to me about Fat Bill, to Fat Bill. I can upload up to 500 different documents. What this means is if you've got some really cool historical memorabilia, but you can't share it on the pedigrees, you can post them here. And let's say I click on this letter. Okay, this is the letter from Mr. Hollingsworth. I can post links and share it with people. They can come here and look. There's a whole bunch of stuff I could do to this. I can add it to a group if I've made a group, but you can share so much with people that you might have, remember, over 500 documents, so that if you have some cool letters from Mountain Man or Maurice Carver himself, you can share them up here and have a means to display them to your friends. So with that said, we're going to wrap up the tutorial on setting up your profile, really joining the community and participating. And we're going to go on now to how to use the forum, because there's a lot of stuff to learn here too. And I'm going to make a separate tutorial on how to do so, but I hope you've enjoyed this one. Thank you.